How's it sound now?
Great, you're great.
All right, yeah, maybe my iPad was like struggle busing because it didn't have enough juice or something.
Maybe.
Well, I just reset the stream, so we're on number 300.
Oh, there we go. Woohoo!
The 300 party.
That was a
All right,
good movie. I love that movie.
How many loops around the sun is that?
Yeah.
We can just ask how many years.
But that doesn't sound as sciencey. Fun kill.
That makes it sound real scientific when you use the word sciency.
Exactly. See?
That's how you know you're dealing with professional scientists if they use the word sciency.
Gio, I think we need to put Jeremy on a timeout. He's questioning my Bob Doleness. He's sassing me.
Sassing me. What are you from the 70s?
He's sassing me, don't you know? For crying in the mud.
How old are you, Bob? Of course, you don't have to share if you don't want, but
I'll be 33 in May.
33 sees him. Illuminati Freemason.
I don't know if the numerology thing like that counts if it's like sequential and like you don't have a choice but to get to that number.
Yeah, I don't even go off that whole gematria shit. I am pretty fascinated with the number 273. Other than that, though, all that numerology shit. Randall Carlson does do some stuff, and Tesla was in a 369. So there might be some other shit, but I like the number 273. That pops up a lot everywhere.
Jeremy, it's not about believing in numerology, okay? It's about understanding that they believe in it. All right? The numbers don't have to actually mean something for them to think that they mean something.
Yeah. I'm just so happy, Mike. They let my kid go back to school today because they sent him home Friday. And I had him for the past 2 days, so I haven't been getting my princess sleep, as my wife likes to call it. So today I was able to catch up on some sleep. I feel a little bit better. Still fucking exhausted.
Is princess sleep like a modified beauty sleep kind of thing?
Yeah, she's trying to pick a fight with me one day, and I'm like, don't do that. Don't try to pick a fight with me in text messages.
She calls it princess sleep because she knows no amount of sleep is going to fix his face.
First of all, I told her don't buy any more pets, right? What'd she do? She got another cat. So then I had to bring the cat to the vet, and she got all pissy with me one day because I was like, I didn't have time to get the cat before the kid got home from the vet. And she's like, oh, what the fuck? I had to do laundry last night. And it didn't help the night before I forgot to put the laundry in the fucking dryer before I went to work. So she was just giving me shit. And she's like, oh, it's okay, though. I'll come home, cook dinner, do it. You get your princess sleep. I'm like, yo, don't do that. I volunteered to get the cat. She said, no, I'll do it. And then she acted like I never volunteered. I'm like, is it that time of the month? Like, what's going on? That did not make matters better.
Anyone here?
Yep. What's up, Crit?
What's up? Not much.
Jeremy was telling us about how his wife calls his napping princess sleep.
Because he's got to stay beautiful.
So what's new, Crit? What's new in the world of truth?
They so the three big articles I had talked about this morning. Let me page up. There's a big news today in space and science. So it might be worth
Is this sciencey? As long as it's sciencey.
Yeah, it's sciencey. So number one is
Alright.
particles from lunar mission Apollo 11 are being sold at auction in New York City today.
Oh, I heard that. Yeah, some
Yeah.
moon dust. Moon dust.
Some moon dust, yeah. 5 containers of moon dust being sold for $1.2 million. The funny part is the government labeled them 2 through 6 to showcase just how bad the government is at accountability or accounting, for that matter. It'd be
Oh,
like,
they can't
hey,
run anything right.
I know, it's like you've got 5 samples here. As the only proof you went to the moon, just count to 5 for me. And Buzz Aldrin is like 3, 5, 4, 2, 6. You fail. Okay, you can use your fingers. Try again. Just count to 5, and I'll believe you went to the moon. 2, 4,
Well,
6,
Buzz
3,
is
5.
Buzz is a weirdo. He's always selling like some coin he claims to have had brought to the moon with him on eBay and shit.
Yeah,
And like Jaronism did a video on it. Like if you added all these coins up that he supposedly brought to the moon, it was like pounds and pounds worth of coins.
that's
Like
what
weight wise.
that's what Jerry had said today. That he'd be like, I'd rather see like a bottle that he downed. You know, this bottle finished in one sitting. You know, like be part of history. You'll be part of science and lunar space travel. This is the first bottle downed by Buzz after he came back from the moon.
Yeah.
Then the next thing was NASA takes third crack at moon rocket countdown test. Just the countdown test. So
Well, they can't count to 5, and the countdown you got to go to 10. So they're probably working overtime on that.
Yeah, so this is their third crack, and they use the word crack, which is like bad juju, right? Because like if you have a crack at something, it kind of means it broke the first couple times. So in one countdown, they've increased the clock to 33 seconds. So T minus 33. And then before they recycle back to a 10-minute countdown. So they're going to count down from 33 seconds, then reset the clock back to 10 minutes, then proceed to the actual countdown. Then once they get to 9.3 seconds, they'll start, that's the moment when they'll ignite the engine. But there's a problem because the top part is, they know it's broken, but it's okay because there won't be anyone aboard.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so they're going to do a wet dry rehearsal with a
wet dry.
Yeah, wet dry.
Like a shop vac. Like a shop vac.
And then the last bit of news was, for the first time ever, 3 supernovas occurred at exactly the same time. An unprecedented event. 3 active supernovas simultaneously exploded right in our own galaxy.
Huh.
Yeah, like, huh.
Why didn't LIGO predict that?
Yeah, where was the prediction? The post-diction, right? It's always a post-diction.
Yeah, LIGO predicted a supernova going off, zillions of galaxies light years away and shit. They didn't predict one in our own galaxy? That's weird.
2 simultaneously. You think something like that would have something to go with it, right? Some sort of data point or whatever information to go with.
Yeah, like, oh, we predicted this at Slack or LIGO or something, yeah.
So
They
they
don't know
have
what the
no
fuck's going
idea
on.
what they're looking at. They're just looking at a bunch of lights in the sky and then trying to divine the nature of creation. And they're completely clueless. Completely. They have no idea what's going on. Wide leaps of logic and reason.
Well, I mean, as long as they keep it sciencey, we're all good.
Yeah, just use science terms like their flux capacitor and their warp engines and Elon Musk going to Mars. Space tourism.
Dude, he sent a fucking Tesla car to Mars. You know how bullshit that is on its face value? Such
on its
bullshit,
face.
dude. You could have sent a camera to the moon and you could have been making money off it to this day. Or you could have crash landed the fucking thing into the moon with a camera on it. Like, there's so much more stuff you could have done than just sent it a car aimlessly into space. No one would do that.
And that goes back to, like, remember me, you, and Chemo talking on Gem Panda server about we were debating if that's an experiment or not. And I was on the side, like, I was on the globalist side. I'm like, sure, if you sent something into space and you can predict the path it will go, that's an experiment. And you had Shroomy making bird sounds, constantly interrupting. You couldn't even have a real conversation about it. You had 3 flat earthers debating about what it would mean. And they wouldn't even let that conversation happen. And eventually they muted me because I said someone was making bird sounds. I said animal sounds. They said because I said animal sounds, that's what caused the animal sounds. And then Shroomy says he wasn't making animal sounds, he was making pigeon noises. And I was like, a pigeon's an animal, dude. It's a bird, you know, if you don't know
fucking
that.
hilarious.
See, that's how broken their thinking is. It's everything's flat earthers' fault, but at the same time, they'll say flat earth is completely irrelevant. Well, which one? Okay, you got to pick one or the other because those two claims are mutually exclusive. You can't be their flat earth is to blame for everything in the world. And it's also completely irrelevant.
I hear that. Dude, them guys are nothing. Without us, who are those dudes?
They're just triggered.
Dudes on the internet.
Yeah,
they're just some old dudes on the internet with us.
They're just people who got defeated so badly in like other spaces, other debates. They debated theists all through the internet. Their movement, the third wave atheism, got completely destroyed. So now they just want to pick a fight with flat earthers for reasons they won't even explain.
A lot of them dudes came from the evolution debate too.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. That sort of like they thought that they could swing on some sort of idea that if you found aliens or you could prove evolution, that means atheism. But they won't even connect the dots for you. Why? Why would that mean atheism? Why if aliens and why if evolution? How does that get to atheism? And they're just like, well, if you don't know.
Still doesn't, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not even close.
I mean, it doesn't. That doesn't help anyone's case.
Like it's completely.
I don't see aliens helping us or them.
Yeah, it's completely irrelevant if you really add up the whole. It's like a non sequitur on its face because the two topics are completely unrelated to begin with.
I just love how they dodge abiogenesis so hard. Because that's where their whole shit falls to pieces on that.
Yeah, and the Cambrian explosion. You know, if you believe
the Cambrian, the Cambrian thing doesn't make sense at all.
That's why you get those really dumb comments with like that Michelle Thaler that she's a rock.
Yeah, we're rocks. Well, that's what it had, dude. That's what I mean. If you take it back to abiogenesis, you're left saying rocks are our cousins. That's why they dodge abiogenesis so hard because it's fucking absolutely absurd what comes after that.
Yeah, and it'd be like, well, at some point they'll be able to clone humans. Yeah, well, will that human have a soul? Will they have consciousness? Will it just be an organ, just biomass? Where is that piece of the puzzle? The consciousness piece, the soul piece. Can you clone that? And they're like, well, no. Well, welcome back to humanity because you are more than your physical body. That's just your vehicle that you navigate through this time and space with. Your soul is who you really are. And that was created in God's image. Or the creator, if you will.
It is a pretty bizarre concept to think about, gravity and this outer space, and the mass all comes together to form the Earth, and then somehow all of this, humans and all the technology, everything we have, just came out of that.
Yeah, there's no learning. They can't jump the shark on that. They can't be like, Newton got hit in the head with an apple. Therefore, everything is subjective. Like, where did that come from? They'll tell you that. Yeah, I mean, not to harp on atheism again. I'm just saying scientism in and of itself. This gravity claim doesn't even get you close to the truth. This is why NASA's own websites won't tell you what gravity is. They'll just tell you it's a field of influence. Lots of things are field of influences, but you don't attach some sort of big G, capital letter G to them. Did you see that video by the Australia Mitchell in Australia?
What do you do?
He went back and recorded. Brian's here too. Brian's Logic. The debate with McToon, and there's a really insightful moment where McToon realizes he's on a flat Earth. Here, I'll post a video again. Check this out. It's like just less than 2 minutes long. So Brian basically gives him his idea for the sextant. McToon's counter argument is, well, the Earth is flat, and here's why.
Funny.
And then you've got Professor Dave or not Professor Dave, getting owned by David Weiss, along with the lunar mission canceled, kickback, wet dry rehearsal fiasco going on for almost a month now. They're just waiting for people to lose interest so they can move on to like some other topic. I mean, this is kind of it. Where are the globalists gonna go from here when all the stuff they've been working on for the past decades has just vanished right in front of their eyes?
I'll tell you right now, if they don't go back to the moon within the next 8 years, you're gonna have a lot of people starting to question shit. Because they're gonna be like, yo, what the fuck, man? I grew up with dreams of fucking an alien, and you guys aren't making that happen.
Yeah, green chick. Remember that in Gems? Remember, I didn't use the word fucking. I said making out, right? You want to make out with alien green chick.
Yeah. Yeah, because they had us all hyped up on that Star Wars, Star Trek shit where Oh, they had the Jetsons. They had all these call it visions of grandeur,
Yeah,
illusions of grandeur, or something.
yeah. On the Jetsons, the majority of the human race lived off-world. There's just a few people back to run automated machinery. This is why George Jetson only worked 3 hours a week.
Oh, dude, that's what it's going to be like soon when they get automation big. Like right now, I was telling this earlier. You know, people say, "Oh, they're trying to get rid of us." The thing is, they need more people to perpetrate their system, their pyramid scheme or Ponzi scheme or whatever they have going on with the economy and how money works and shit. So, like, as it is right now, as the system is now, they need more and more people every day. Every day, you need more money being spent than the day before because that's how Ponzi schemes work. You know, you constantly need more and more money moving around. But pretty soon, that system's going to stop. That can't go on forever. They know this. And with automation rolling out, it won't be the case anymore. That whole shit's going to come to a crashing halt. So once automation hits, they're not even going to fucking need us anymore. So what do you do then? Then now, like right now, they want more people. They need more people to feed the system, to feed the Ponzi scheme, pyramid scheme, whatever it is. But as soon as automation rolls out, and now all those people that you needed before are just a drain, and they don't do anything because everything's fucking automated. So what do you do now? You just have to give them money. So you don't want that. So that's when they're going to want to start getting rid of us. Because universal basic income, you don't want to be giving that shit out a lot. That's millions and billions of dollars.
Why can't you? Why not? Why would that be
Where's
a
the
problem?
money come? Because where's the money come from?
Money comes from thin air, dude. You know that. Nobody pays their bills. Big deal.
I know money. The money comes. What do you mean the money comes from thin air?
It does. Haven't you seen what we've been doing for the past 90 or 80 some years? Or probably even longer. This has probably been going on for a lot longer. Obviously, the whole thing with money.
Yeah, I hear you, but they can't keep that system going forever. And then once automation
Yeah, they
hits, it's
can.
going to.
Who says they can't? Who says they can't? Come on, man.
You have to have infinite growth. It requires infinite growth. Every day, every
Who says
year.
there's a requirement of infinite growth? What does that mean?
The piece of the pie has to keep growing to match demand.
Because it's
Says
a Ponzi scheme. Because it's a.
Oh,
go ahead, Greg.
I was say trickle down economics.
That's somebody else's idea of economics, but that's not exactly what. What do you mean trickle down economics? What are you talking about?
The voodoo, basically voodoo economics, so the austerity, neoliberalism, the economic system that has basically been in place since the 2000s. That's what Jeremy's talking about.
Jeremy's saying that there needs to be infinite growth, or else the system's going to crash. Now, what's this proof for that?
Yes, because every year you need more and more people. You need more money being spent than the year before. In order to do that, you need.
Says who? For what? What is this? What is this time bomb ticking that you think that just because one day elapses, there has to be infinite growth? It has to grow just a little bit more. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Here, look at
that's how Ponzi schemes. Because that's how Ponzi schemes work, or pyramid schemes, or whatever. You got to keep having new people come in to give more money, to spend more money.
Give more money, spend. No, it can't. No, it doesn't have to be that way. It could go the other way too.
I think we'd be fine if every year we had people spending less money.
Sure, why not? What would happen?
Click the debt link, U.S. clock, debt link clock.
So what? You act like they're gonna do something. Like if you act like they're gonna just stop the whole system if it gets to a certain number. Is there a magic number where they said, okay, national debt is
50%.
one? Wasn't the number like 1 trillion kind of scary, and then nothing happened, and then 5 trillion, nothing happened, and then 10 trillion, nothing happened, and then 15 trillion, nothing happened, and then 20 trillion, and nothing happened, and then it's
The
like,
debt
come on,
ceiling.
man, nothing's gonna happen. It's
No,
just
because
gonna keep going.
Because as the debt ceiling kept increasing, they were also increasing tax revenue. What you're looking at is a point where tax revenue is no longer increasing to decrease to maintain that like sort of sub 50% spending to GDP ratio. When you're spending $2,
We're not even close to a sub 50% GDP ratio.
it's
So get that
39%.
shit out of your head. We're about not even
39.
1% close to that.
It's 39% right now.
Show me your numbers.
The
Show
link.
me.
Click the link I posted in Livestream.
You're saying there. Okay. Tell me one more time what your claim is.
Okay, my claim is that at some point the
Oh,
national
no,
debt,
wait. You just said something
50%.
about 39%. So go ahead and tell me about that 39%.
Please try not to interrupt because I think he was in the middle of speaking.
No, I know, but he needs to talk about his 39% he just claimed.
Okay, spending to GDP, how much the gross domestic product is versus how much there is money just in the overall system. The more that its spending increases, the more the money has to grow to match
So
that
you're
level of
saying,
spending.
wait. Tell me that one more time.
Yeah, well, Jeremy said it much better than I did, but maybe Jeremy, you want to go?
You're saying we're spending 39. We're only making 39% of what the GDP is.
No, the spending ratio.
What does spending have to do with anything with how much you're making?
Yeah, because it's taxable, federal taxable dollars.
Yeah, but there's different tax rates on different things. Just because people spend money, some states tax differently, so that shouldn't even matter. Like you can't even factor 39% of whatever, wherever that number came from. Some states do it differently. There's no sales tax.
Federal tax.
So how are you factoring those states?
Yeah, federal. This is federal spending.
Sure, I get that. But there's some states with no federal income tax.
No, all states have federal income tax. That's why it's federal. Some states have income tax. All states have income tax. Some states have a different version of it. They work into property or sales tax.
That works around spending. So spending is something different. Spending is on the state level.
Spending. Governmental spending.
Okay, so now you're talking about government debt instead of just spending. So now we can
from the very beginning. Yeah.
Now, okay, you're saying spending though. So now you're saying debt.
Click on the link.
Okay.
Okay, if you click on the link, you'll see it in real time. It will blow your mind.
No, I want to hear from you because you're the one claiming it.
I can't explain it any better than they did. The U.S. debt clock breaks it down and breathtaking. It gives you these little tips too. That's the best part about it.
Breathtaking?
Anything you highlight over, it'll give you a different tip about what happened in which time frame. It's a really good website. People work really hard to bring this information to people who care.
I think what you're trying to say. I think what you're trying to say is that what the country makes and what the country spends is a 39% ratio. So, are you trying to say that our debt is 39% of our GDP ratio, which there's no way that could be?
Okay, well, if you could get
them because were you aware that we make $15 trillion a year in America? Probably about 16 trillion now. Are you aware of that?
We don't make anything. We're in the negative every year.
No, it's 24
trillion. Do you know that's our GDP is 16 trillion? Are you aware of that?
Are you aware we don't make anything? We're in the negative every year?
It's 24 trillion is the net.
Okay, there you go. 24 trillion. What's the national debt right now? We'll make it back trillion. In 1 year. So what's the big deal?
30 trillion.
It's not even close to 39% of what our debt is. So you're saying we owe 5 trillion every year? Maybe during COVID.
The current national debt is 30 trillion. The gross
Okay.
domestic product is 24 trillion.
All right. So how is that 39%? That's
Yeah.
about if you want to go from 0 to 100 and use percentage points, it's probably about 6%, 6 points off. 6%.
So then-
30 trillion, 24 trillion, about 6 points off. You got about a 6% difference.
So the deficit,
Big deal.
the debt minus
Grows
current
6%.
spending.
No problem.
Yeah,
We can cover
current
that.
spending. Minus current spending.
What do you mean minus current minus current debt?
What is the current federal the current federal budget? Do you know what that is? It says in the website.
He's Googling.
Yeah.
Give him a second.
No, I'm not
Try to
Googling
Google.
anything. Because that has to do with that 30 trillion and that 24 trillion.
Okay, how about this? What is 40% of 24?
Why are you telling me that?
I'm asking.
I don't know. You answer it.
Do you know what 40% of 24 is?
No, I don't.
What's
It's about
50%?
10, right?
What's
10?
50% of 20? Yeah, about 10. What's 50% of 24?
Wow.
So when federal spending gets to $12 trillion, it will be no longer possible to pay off the national debt.
Okay, but we make a 24 trillion a year, and
We
we owe
don't make
30
any money a
trillion.
year. We're in debt every year. I told you this 5 times just now. We do not make any money a year. We are in debt.
So we don't
every
make
year.
any money. You're saying we don't produce anything. We don't have a GDP.
At the end of the year, there is no money in our pocket. We owe money.
Great. No problem.
In
No problem.
1960
But what did we make and what did we owe? There's two different numbers.
This is where the numbers work, okay? In 1960, the debt to GDP ratio was 53%. In 1980, it was 30%. 2000, it was 58%. Do you notice what happened in 2000, what happened in 1960s? What happens when the federal deficit to ratio gets over 50%? You have a recession. Right now, it's